Hello. Hope you guys can hear me. Let me quickly change a few settings. So, what's the time? 7:35. So we are kind of late by 5 minutes. I just came back from office. Okay. Can you just confirm if you can hear me, see me, everything is fine? Okay. I'm going to assume everything is fine. Okay. So if something is problematic, just let me know. Okay. So this is part 8. Okay. So we have done 7 parts so far, and we looked at L1, L2, L3, 3 levels of difficulties of Java Streams API, and this is part 8 where we will look at level 4 difficulty. Okay, all the questions are in the GitHub link, which is in the stream description. I'll also paste it in the chat. Just a minute. Okay, I'll paste it in the chat and pin it. Fine. So I guess we'll get started. Okay, so let's start with the first question. As usual, find salary percentile. Given a list of employees, find the 75th percentile of salary. Okay, they just want a double value. Okay, so read through the question, try to understand it. Even I don't know what a percentile is, I need to understand that first. So try to read and understand it. So if you guys know what the answer is, just put it in the chat. Okay. Fine. So let me try to understand the question. What they are given is a list of employees, and they're asking the 75th percentile. Okay, 75th percentile. I don't know what that means, but they have given a, I'm not very good at math or anything. They have given the 75th percentile salary is 80,000 for this given input, and which means that 75% of employees earn less than or equal to 80,000. That's what I'm saying. How did they come to that? I have no idea. I mean, mathematically, just ignore streams and all. Okay, mathematically, how do you come to this number? Do I add all of it and then divide, like do into 75%? Let me try that. Okay, so there is 60 plus 80 plus 90 plus 80. It comes down to 310, right? So 310 into 0.75 is this. So what does that mean? So 75% of 310 is 232. So that's not the answer either. Do I divide it by 4 because there are 4 employees? No, that is also wrong. Okay, let's simply just understand what 75% is. Okay, so given a list of salaries, how do I find the 75th percentile of that salary? Okay, this is a formula. Oh my god, there's a lot of formula. Okay, so they're saying if you have this example, 75 into 100 into 7 minus 1 plus 1 Isn't 7 minus 1 plus 1? Okay, plus 1 equal to 0.75 into 6 plus 1 plus. Ah. Hello, hi Divya. Okay, we're trying to understand what is the formula for 75th percentile. There's a lot of math going on here. So I was going to learn streams, but then there is math here. R equals, sort the salaries, calculate the rank. Okay, what we can do is simply, just blindly apply this formula. That's what we can do. So R is P by 100. What is P? Okay, 75 percentile, and N is the number of salaries. And you find rank using that. And then you have to identify the index. If R is not an integer, interpolate. Okay, the last time I saw this XRA, XRF and all that is when I did college. The salary said the position sorted in ascending order. Okay, isn't there a simple one-liner formula to do this programmatically? So the problem here is that this is not a plain streams from. The problem is that there is also math involved. Okay, they simply said dot percentile, quantile. I need Java. I mean, doesn't matter anyway. I mean, in Java, what do they say? I hope there is like a okay. There's a lot of math going on. Nope, I guess we have to skip this question only because this looks more of like a mathematical question. They're saying first you find the position. This gives the value at the computed position. Note that it does not perform linear interpolation. I don't even know what linear interpolation is. For more accurate percentile in a single expression, consider arrays.stream of salaries.sorted. Okay. What's the question in simple terms? I just joined. So what they're asking is there is a list of employees. Okay. Sorry. You are supposed to find the 75th percentile of all of the salaries. So you can simply get the salary value, but then you have to find the 75th percentile of it. Apparently that means that the answer is 80,000 for this sample input, and it means that 75% of employees earn less than or equal to 80,000. So that's the answer. But there is some formula for this, mathematical formula for this apparently. Yeah, exactly. So this is the mathematical formula for it. I mean, if you just go purely mathematical, there is all this. You have to calculate the rank first and then identify the index, and then and then you have to do this formula, XRA plus XRF into XRA plus 1. I don't even know what this is. So the example, calculation is like this: 75 by 100 into 7 minus 1 plus 1. This is all it is. Which gives 5.5, which is the position. So you have to take like the position based on this. So it is between 5th position and 6th position. So that becomes whatever this is now, 54,000 plus 0.5. So they have this formula now. Okay, so what are we going to do? We are going to skip it, or you guys can do it as homework. Okay, so I'll skip the first question itself, and if I save this, test should fail. Yeah, test failed, so I will skip this whole test suite, and this second test suite also, so I'll skip. Okay, so this should be ignored. Okay, so we we skip the first question. Okay, now let's move to the second question. Concatenate names with separator. So input is employees group by department. Okay, so they have these employee names, and the output should be, okay, in HR there is Alice and Charlie, in IT there is Bob and David, and in finance there is Eve. Okay, so yeah, try to understand the question, go through the question, read it. Once you have finished reading it, add a comment please. Okay, I'll add it there. Okay, I'll add it there first. We are skipping this question because it is mostly mathematical. This has very little to do with Java strings. Okay, fine. Yeah, there is always a thin line between learning something and getting crazy, so we'll just draw the line there. Let me make this one neater. Okay, so yeah, try to understand this question. Sounds like an important problem. This one, yeah, try to understand it. I'll come back. Let me know when I can start, or if you guys have any suggested solution or any ideas, you can drop that as well in the chat. Group by department. Okay, you group by department, then you'll have a map which says map of string comma employee, list of employees, and map names with join. Map names with join. Okay, I don't think we'll use map here per se. We'll be using the collecting, and then I guess that's what we'll use. So let's see. Okay, so good ideas there. Let's see how we can do it. Okay, so the question is, I'll explain the question. There is a list of employees, Alice, Bob, Charlie, Eve. What they want is to segregate by departments. Okay, so how many are there in HR? HR has 2 people. Charlie is in HR. Okay, in this question Charlie is in HR. Let me fix that. Okay, so we are doing second question. I'll come back to map names with join. Yeah, map names with join, and you have to collect it using like the joining collector, right? So Charlie HR, Bob is IT, Eve is finance, and we have one more person called David in IT. Okay, David IT, how much is he? 90k. Okay, fine. So there are these 5 employees, and they want to group by department first of all. Okay, so in HR there are 2 people, in IT there are 2 people, and in finance there is 1 person. Okay, so this is what they want to map into. So what should be getting? HR, okay, IT, and then finance. So this will be the keys of the map. Okay, key. Now what should be the values? The value should be a single string which says the name of the people in it. So Alice, and who is there? Charlie. Okay, similarly IT should be Bob, and who is the other guy? David. okay, and finance should be just one person, Eve. Fine, so this is what they are expecting, okay, and this is the value part. Let me write that also, value. Okay, so let's look at the approach. So as we also mentioned here, you have to first of all group by department. So you take a stream on the map, okay, and then you group by department, the employees department, okay. Once you do that, you should actually then write the value part. So this group by department is actually the key part. The key is this. Now you have to also say what is the value part. For value part, what you have to say, you have to first of all do collecting dot collectors dot collecting, and then, because you not only have to collect the values, then you have to do the joining also. So you have to say collecting and then do what you have to. So the collecting part will collect it into a list. So you have to do like 2 list, and for each item in the list, okay, what you have to do is collectors dot joining by and, or I think there is even a simpler way to do this. Wait, I'll show you the simpler way. So joining and then you say and, or the simpler way is instead of writing here group by department and leaving it there, okay, what you'll do is I'll just mark it here, okay. So in this part you just say collectors dot joining and then ampersand, okay. So when you say this, it will simply join all the values by the ampersand. So this will become the value part, okay. So this is a simple operation. Oh, but before that you have to do a map, right? Correct. So you have to do a map and then only join. So I think that is where you get this thing, okay. So let's try that, the collecting and then, okay. So you have, why is there a department separately? It joins the name of in each department with ampersand, okay, but the input itself is list of employees, right? Why is there a department again separately, and why is it coming in example employees this? Okay, I have no idea why department is also coming in, but regardless, let's try with just employees. Employees dot stream, okay, dot collect, then you say collectors dot grouping by and say employee department, okay. So let me make it neater, okay. With this, what happened is we have collected it into a data structure where you get department name and then the list of employees. Now what you have to say is, I'll show it here. So if you see this, you will get in here I say, so if you see here, you'll get a map of string comma list of employees. So string will be the department name and list of employees the list of employees in each department. So that is what you'll get, okay. Now what you have to do is, on the other side, you have to say join the department names, right? So how do I say that? So for that, say collectors dot joining, and I can put ampersand, but then there is no joining over the employee object itself. So it is trying to join the employee object, not this, just the name of the employee using ampersand. So this will be wrong, okay. So we can't do this. Let me undo that, okay. What is the alternate way? The alternate way is in collect itself, I have to first of all say, let me write this also like this, grouping by, right? So once you group by, so what you have to do is collectors dot collecting, and then in this I have to first of all group by, Okay, group by whatever department, right? And then I have to do, once you collect it into that, you get a list, right? That list, what you have to do is this correct? Am I writing it correctly? I have to remember. No. Okay. So what I have to do is, I'm sorry, I'm confusing a little bit. So the key part is done. Okay. I hope I don't confuse this time. So key part is done. Now on the value part, I have to say collect all the values. Okay. Dot collecting. And then what I should do is, you will get the values into collectors dot to list. Okay. And what I'll do with the list is, list becomes list dot stream dot map, okay, employee name, okay, then I do dot collect in a collectors dot joining and the ampersand. Okay, might be a little confusing, I'm pretty sure it is very confusing. So it's not just ampersand, they want a space before and after the ampersand. Okay, so this is the value part. Where is this whole thing is the value part. Okay, so I'll try to explain what happened here. Okay, let's go to the whiteboard again. So you need a key and you need the value, right? So for key, I am saying simply group by department name. Okay, done. Nothing else to be done there. For the value part, what I am saying is, you collect all the values already. So what will be the value part now? It will be a list of employees, right? It will be a list of employee, right? This will be the value part. Now to that, what I'm saying is, you first of all collect it into a list, okay? And then what you are going to do is convert that into something else. And what is that something else is the part we are doing there. So let's say you are simply asked to convert a list of employees into, name, concatenated by name. Okay, they are asking nothing else, just let's say this was a question. Okay, this was the question with like 5 employees. Okay, and then they asked you simply concatenate saying Alice and Bob, okay, and Charlie and Eve and David. What would you do? Okay, think about it. What did you do? You'll simply do this list of employees dot map it to the name, then dot collect it as joining collector, and you put the ampersand in between, right? That is what you would do. Now that is the same thing which we are doing here, saying you will be collecting list of employees for each group, right? For each group you will be collecting the list of employees, and on something happened. I hope I'm back. Checking. Yeah, I'm back. Oh, but my iPad paused, I see. Let me fix that. Okay, fine. So on this list of employees, what I'm going to say is, you do the same thing again. So map, okay, map it to the, what do you say, name, okay, and then collect it as joining collector, join by ampersand. Okay, so if you see here, we are doing 2 levels of grouping, but what we have to essentially do is, what we are essentially doing is, whatever logic we have to use for the whole flat map, whole flat employee list, we are doing it for the group. Okay, so now let's see what is happening here. If you guys have questions, or if you want me to explain again from the scratch, I'll do that. Okay, so this will become a map of string comma string, but they don't want that also. Oh, I think this is what the department is for. They want it in per department. Okay, so simply we can do that also. So I'll just do return collect dot get of department. I think that's what they are asking. The question is asked like this here. Let me see the test case what they're expecting. Okay, yeah, they are saying HR, what are the names in HR. So even though they have multiple items here, they are just looking for whoever is there in HR. Okay, so for now I'll do like this, map.get. After collecting I will do map.get. We can even simplify this more also, that we will do next. Okay, fine. We can do a filter and simplify, right? So, or okay, I'll do one thing. I'll just do dot filter. Okay, and then I'll say for each employee dot name dot equals employee dot department dot equals the actual department name that they gave. Okay, where is this? Okay, fine. I'm filtering that. So once I filter by this, so let's say they want HR people only, then you already have HR people only here, then I don't even need this grouping by. Okay, so let's keep it the other way itself, so that we understand what this two level of grouping is, so that we also know how to do this actually. So suddenly tomorrow if they ask return a map of all of this thing, so if they ask like this, right, even that you can print. So now I'll also print this collect. Okay, sysout collect. Okay, so let me run the test case. This one, run the test case. Okay, so you got finance has Eve, HR has Alice and Charlie, IT has Bob and David. Okay, so this is the expected output according to the sample question they have given. Okay, so we got that, and the test case also passed. If you want to see the test output, it's here. Okay, the test case passed. Okay, and let's run the second question. So it says no department. I don't know what this will do. JUnit. This also passed. Where is it? This also passed, and we got the output as HR has Alice and IT has Bob. So what are they doing for no department? Department is finance. Okay, so they're looking for finance when they didn't supply employees in the finance department, so they're expecting that null should be returned, which we got. Okay, so that was that. If you want the filter example, I will explain that as well, but I think this is pretty clear enough, so I'll just leave it here. Okay, fine. So moving on, third question. Slide. If you guys are confused or anything in between, just let me know. Third question, sliding window average salary input. Okay, salary. Let me make this question neater. Input is this, example is this, where is output? Output is this, and explanation is this. Okay, so they want list of employees with sorted salaries. Okay, given a list of employees with sorted salaries, calculate average salary in a sliding window of size K. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, you guys try to read the question and understand it. Let me try to understand it as well. Okay, so I hope you guys read the question, and let me try to understand the question as well. Okay, so what they're asking is, this is the list of employees. Okay, 60,000, 80,000, 70,000, 90,000, again 80,000. So we don't care about the names or departments or anything here. What they're asking is, they are going to run a sliding window. So what is a sliding window? A sliding window of size 3 actually. The k equal to 3 means size 3. Okay, so a sliding window is something like this is a window, okay, of size 3. Then you have this as a window of size 3, and then you have, let's say, these 3. Okay, these 3. So there are 3 windows here. Okay, I mean, shall I write it in like different colors? So blue. Okay, this will be the second window, and this will be the third window. Okay, like first window, second window, third window. These 3. Now they want the running average of this window. I don't think there is any practical usage of this question, but it's just a mathematical or like a a random sliding window. So sliding window is actually a well-known or like infamous protocol in competitive programming, data structures, all that stuff. Okay, so what they're asking is, run a sliding window over this. So think of it like you have a window open, and then you are sliding the window over these numbers. Okay, and the window size is 3. So you are sliding it from top to bottom. So when you keep the window on the first element, it covers the first 3 items, right? So what is the average of that? 60k plus 80k plus 70k by 3 will be, okay, let's solve it, 210. What? I don't know what 210 is. I mean, I tried to solve it using what do you call this, Apple Notes. That became wrong, I guess. So let me see. So 60 plus 70 plus 80. Okay, it's 80 plus 70, doesn't matter. So 210. So 210 divided by 3 is 70. So you get 70k. Okay, so the answer for the first sliding window, right? This window, this is window 1. So for window 1, you get this as the the average. Okay, oh, let me close this. So for window 1, you get this average. Now let's look at window 2. So what will be the answer for window 2? Okay, let's do it quickly. 80, 70, 90, right? So 80k plus 70k plus 90k. Okay, so by 3. So 14, 15, 24, 240 by 3, is it? So 240 by 3. You get 80k. 80k. Okay, and this will be for window 2. And for window 3, the green window, right? What will be the answer? It will be 70k plus 90k plus 80k whole divided by 3, which will come to, I hope this solves correctly. No, it didn't solve correctly. I don't know what's wrong with this. So 7, it's the same thing again, right? 70 plus 90 plus 80 by, yeah, it will come to 80k again. 80k, which is for window number 3. Okay, so this is the number they are expecting. So you have to run a window over the given input and calculate the what do you say, average. Okay, so now let's look at some indices and numbers, whatever we have to see. Okay, so let's mark these items with indexes. Okay, so not indexes, one based indexing, the position. Okay, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, right? The first window was 1, 2, 3, right? Let me write it below. 1, 2, 3 was the first window. The second window will be 2, 3, 4, and the third window will be 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so how do I come to these numbers? That is my question now. How can I come to these numbers? Okay, let me think about it. So if I Okay, so if I started a, you know, range, there is this int stream dot range, right? If I start a int stream dot range, okay, and say 1 to some n, okay. Now this n should be k lesser than the size of the array. So this should be like some, you know, end. Okay, so till what should I iterate? To I should iterate from 1, so this first one, up to third one, because when I come here the window closes. I can't, there is no point going after that, right? If I go to fourth one, then the window will be 4, 5, 6, which is not there. So I should go only up till third one, right? So how do I get that number 3? I will do size of this, which is 5, minus k, which will be equal to 5 minus 3, and it will come to 2. Then you have to do plus 1. So it should actually be 5 minus k plus 1. And what is 5? So okay, so let's get the formula here. Okay, 5 is the size of the list minus k plus 1. Okay, if we do this, we will get the end limit. And what is the starting limit? The starting limit is of course 0. So you have to go from 1 to size minus k plus 1. So in this case it will be 1 to size is 5 minus 3 plus 1, which is equal to 5 minus 3 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3. Okay, so we are going from 1 to 3. So we got the range. So this is how we calculate our range. Okay, so for that end value I said here, right, over here, that end value will be 3. Okay, the end value will be 3. Let me write it. And the start value will be 1. That is always constant. Okay, with this we got the range. Now with this range, what we can do is, there is this operation, or like in stream there is this helper thing called as limit, right? This function called as limit. With limit, what we can do is, we can limit to k items. So if I say when I'm at 1, limit it to 3 items, it will take 1, 2 and 3, right? When I'm at index 2, or like number 2, if I say limit it to 3 here again, it will take second item, third item and fourth item. And if I say take 3 and limit it to 3 again, it will take 3, 4 and 5. Got it? But the problem is I should also skip. If I don't skip, then again there is an issue. So because if I say just limited 3 every time, it will always be 1 to 3 only, right? So I need to skip also. Now what should I skip? So in first case, the skip should be 0. Let me rewrite this. Let me rewrite this. So I should skip as well. Skip. So in first case, skip will be 0, because you have to start, not skip anything. You have to get all the first 3 items. Then you will get 1, 2, 3. In next case, you should skip 1 item, so that it starts from the second item and you get 2, 3, 4. In next case, you should skip 2 items, so that you get, it will start at 3, 4 and get to the 5th item. Okay, so this is the final value. So if you see up here, we have this 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4 and 3, 4, 5, right? So that is the same thing we got here. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4 and 3, 4, 5, right? Sorry, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so how do I get a hold of this skip numbers? That is one more thing I have to think of, right? So what is this? How will I get skip? So if I go through the int stream, the int stream starts from 1 to 3, right? So I can simply do what is the relation between Okay, it will be simply -1. So whatever is this n, right? I mean like the I here, okay, -1. So I should do I -1. So it will be 1 -1, then it will be 2 -1 and 3 -1. Okay, so with that I got the skip values also. Okay, yeah. So this is kind of very complicated. So with all the formulas we got so far, let's try to answer it. Okay, so if you guys have any question with any of this part, just let me know. Okay, so the complicated parts are really complicated. Let's try it. Okay, so let me do a normal employees dot stream. Okay, let me write it neatly now itself. Sorry. Okay, then dot stream, and what will I do? Oh, sorry, before that I have to do this int stream. Okay, dot range closed. Okay, and the starting value is always 1, and for end we wrote this formula, right? Int end equals, I'll just check the formula, this, let me highlight it here. So this size minus k plus 1 is our end. Okay, so size is employees dot size minus k plus 1. Okay, this is our end. So I'll do 1 to end. Okay, now let me write it in new line so that it is easier to read. Okay, then I'll do dot what do you say, map, right? For each item, what should I do? Map. Now you get I as the value, whatever number is coming through the range closed. For each I, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a function. Okay, the method map is not applicable for the item, no item. Okay, for each I, what I'll do is I have to take the employees. Okay, then stream it. Okay, stream that, then I have to do skip. So this skip will be, as we saw, where did we see this one? This skip will be this value, I minus 1. Okay, so we do I minus 1, then we do dot limit. Limit is always k items. Okay, so there's no problem with that, and that's it. So if we skip x number of items and limit it to k items, you will get the next k items. And then what I'll do is I'll map it, dot map, what do you say, map, and then I'll say employee salary, right? So I'll map to double. Okay, and what do they want? They want the average, right? Yeah, right, average. I'll do dot average. Okay, so this will be the average. Return this, and this I think I have to do map to double again here also, right? Map to double. Oops, right? Why is this showing error? Cannot convert from optional double to double. Okay, so I'll just do dot or else 0.0. So that apparently gives an optional double. So I'll be converting it into an actual value. So if the double doesn't exist, I'll return 0. Okay, so let me make this neater. Okay, I'll do one here also. Okay, fine. So with this, we should have already got the answer. Okay, let me see. Oh, I should collect it, right? So I'll do map to double and then do toList. Oops. Oh, toList doesn't work. You have to box it. Box it, because apparently it returns primitive types. Do toList. Okay, so you got a list of double. So list of double result equals this. Okay, let's return it and see. Open call hierarchy, First test case run as JUnit test. It passed. Okay, let me test the other one also. Run as JUnit test. That also passed. Okay, so both test cases passed. Okay, so we did a lot of calculation here and we got this answer. Okay, so I'll do a quick recap of what we did. Okay, let me create a new board here. Okay, so let me write this. Let me write the question here in my iPad and I'll come to you. Okay, 60,000, 80,000, 70,000, 90,000, and what's the last one? 80,000. Okay, fine. So these are the values that we have, salaries that we have, and they want a running average. Okay, and they gave, it's like a sliding window, right? So sliding window, and the sliding window size is, okay, sliding window size is 3. Okay, this is what they have given in the question. Now when you say sliding window, it means that you open a window. Okay, you open a window like this and you slide it. Okay, so the first window will have these 3 numbers, the second window will have these 3 numbers, the next 3 numbers, and the third window will have the last 3 numbers. Okay, that's why it's a window, it keeps sliding off from left to right. Okay, now what they want is, as the window slides, they want to identify the average of each window. So let's say in the first window it is 60,000, 80,000 and 70,000, right? If you take the average of that, I think it comes to 70,000. Yeah, it comes to 70,000. So the first window's average is 70,000, the second window's average is 80,000, the third window's average is also 80,000. Okay, so the value is not very important. How we calculate the window is the thing for streams, using streams. So what we have to do is, we have to first of all identify how we can iterate a window like this. Okay, so if I write it in simple terms, the window will be 1 2 3. Okay, these elements, then you have 2 3 4 elements, and then you have 3 4 5 elements. Okay, so this is how the window is sliding. As the window is sliding, these are the values in each window, right? The placement of the values in each window. Okay, right. So now how do I come to these numbers? So if I see the first numbers, right, so it is 1 2 and 3, right? So all it is doing is, I'm getting the first number and then I'm taking the next 3 numbers, first number and the next 3 numbers, this first number and the next 3 numbers. So if I somehow get an iteration of I equal to 1 to 3, right, so I equal to 1 2 3, I will be able to iterate over this sliding window. Now how do I come up with this number 3? That is our k already. Okay, so oops, where did it go? So that is our k. This 3 is k. So what should I do? So I is equal to 1 to k, right? That is all I have to do. Now if I do that, what should I do next? I should take the next 3 items, right? So how do I do that? There is a limit function in streams, right? So in limit, I'll say k. Okay, so when I'm at item 1, I say limit to k, which is like 3 items, so it will come 1 2 3. Okay, and I'm at item 2, I'll say limit the next k items, which is 3, then it will say 2 3 4. Okay, and so on. It will become what? 3 4 5. So we got this calculation also. Okay, now whenever you are limiting, you should also say skip a few items. If you don't skip items, you can't limit items. What do you say? Because in this full list, okay, this full list, at any point of time, if you say limit it to 3 items, it will just limit it to this first 3 items only, right? It will simply take this first 3 items only. So you have to say also skip 1 item and then limit it to the next 3 items. So then it will take these 3 items. So how do I say the skip operation? For saying the skip operation, I need to know how many to skip, right? So anytime you see it is skipping in here, it is skipping 0 item. The first thing it is skipping 0 item, the second thing it is skipping 1 item, and the third thing it is skipping 2 items, right? So the first, there are no items skipped here in the first list, there is 1 item skipped in the second list, second window, and there are 2 items skipped in the third window, right? So how do I come up with this 0 1 2? That is the next question. So for that we came up with the formula of, what is that formula? Where did it go? I minus 1. Okay, so always, so if you remember, here I will be 1, here I will be 2, and I will be 3. So you see the relation between these two, right? It is just minus 1. So we came up with the formula of I minus 1. So if we have I minus 1 as our skip operation, then we can simply get the remaining item. So that is what we found out here, I minus 1. Okay, and I just realized that you don't need to do this extra function, because if you see here, we simply, in this new operation, what we found, it is just going from 1 to k, right? So let me try that. Okay, so I'll just not put end is this, I'll just put 1 to k. Okay, and let me run the test case again. It failed. Fine, so we need to find that end value. Okay, so why did we have to find this? I'm confused about that. Oh, I understood. Okay, let me run the first test case. The first test case should pass now. With the 1 to k. Okay, let me change it to k again. Okay, I'm pretty sure the first test case will pass. Right, see, the first test case passed, but the second test case will fail because the window runs out. See, you see, the k is given as 3, but there are only 2 items here. So when you say 1 to k, the third item is not even there here. So that is why it will fail. Okay, so we correctly found out that it should limit to the employee size. So we are doing a factor of employee size. Okay, so we figure out the distance between how much the employee size is and limit it only to that. Okay, so let's say employee size is 5 in our case, right? So we have 1 2 3 4 5 items, right? So we simply say that it should limit to, this window only, up to here. So what is this end point is the question. So let's say they in the second test case, right? Where is the second test case? In the second test case they gave only 2 items. So let me write that. So in the second test case, okay, second test case, they gave 2 items, 1 and 2, but the k is 3 there. Okay, so what will you do here? You will start from here and there is nothing here, right? So you should end it with just the average of this much only, 1 2. Got it? So there is nothing after that. So that is why the second test case failed. So we have to find the value, formula like that. Okay, so that was that. And if you guys have any questions in the third one, just let me know. Okay, this was a pretty large and long question. We will what is the time now? We are almost at the 1 hour mark of the stream, of the live stream. You guys can take a break. I will pause the stream here. Meanwhile, you can ask questions. I'll come back and answer. Okay, let me pause it. Hey, hello, welcome back. Right, let's get back to the stream. Fine, so fourth question. Yeah, let's go on with the fourth question, right? Multi-level grouping with aggregation. Okay, so if you, I hope you guys don't have any questions with the, any doubts in the third question, so we'll go to the fourth one. Multi-level grouping with aggregation. Okay, so let me explain the question. It's little kind of complicated, so I'll explain it, okay, right away. They have given a list of employees, okay. What they want to do is 2 levels of aggregation. That's why the question itself was saying multi-level, okay. So the first level of aggregation is they want to group by department name. So let's say this HR, and what is there, IT, and then there is finance, right? 3 departments are there, okay. This is level 1 of aggregation. And the second level of aggregation they are looking for is, okay, they want people who are having 3 salary ranges, right? 70,000, I mean less than 70,000, 70,000, 80,000, and greater than 80,000, okay. So they want it like this. In HR, how many people are there? Less than 70,000. And how many are there, you know, in the range of 70,000? I'll write 70K to 80K. And then how many of them are there greater than 80K? Okay. So in our case, in HR, how many are there under 70K? There is one person. This Alice is under 70K, right? So this becomes 1. And how many are in the 70K to 80K range? This one person, Charlie, is there, right? So becomes 1. And how many are there greater than 80K? So let me write it properly. So it's 0 actually. There are nobody. Let me rewrite this properly. It looks like 780K. Okay, so it is greater than 80K. Okay, there are 0 people. Fine. So this is the kind of aggregation they want. Now let's look at IT. Okay, in IT, less than 70K, 70K to 80K, and then you have greater than 80K. Okay. How many are there less than 70K? There is nobody actually, so it is 0. There is nobody less than 70K. Then you have Bob and David in the 70K to 80K range. So this becomes 2. And there is Bob and Frank. Okay, Bob and Frank are in the 80K range, 70 to 80, and David is in the 90K range, right? So there is only one person in the 90K range. Okay, and in finance there is only one person in the 80K range. Okay, so just this in 70K to 80K there will be one person. Okay, so this is the 2 levels of aggregation they are looking for. Now how do we do this? Here we have to first of all group by. We have the grouping by, right? The usual grouping by which we use all the time. Okay, so we get the list of employees and then grouping by. And how will we group by? It's the department name. Okay, that is also the usual stuff we do. We always group by department, right? So with that, the left part is done. So you have gotten the key. So if you build a map, you got the key part of the map. Now what should be the value? The value should be again a map, right? So it's a map of map is what we are going to build. So first map will be saying the key is the department name. The second map's key will be this item, this 70,000. So this are actually strings. So they want the string saying less than symbol and then 70,000. That is the string that they want. Okay, so to do that, what can we do? We have another function called map2. Okay, let me use green color. Okay, map2, and in the map2 I'll actually write a function which says, if salary is less than 70,000, then return this less than 70,000, this string. Okay, so this map2 function will expect a key mapper and a value mapper. Okay, so in the key mapper I'll say do this. In the value mapper, what I'll do is I'll simply do collector dot collecting. Okay, collector dot counting. Yeah, that is the thing. So counting. So counting is what counts the number of items that are actually coming into that particular stream. Okay, so this might sound a little bit complicated. If you guys have questions, just drop it in the chat. I will explain it. If not, we'll just start coding it. Okay, so if you guys had continuously followed the previous questions, this is a little bit improvement over that. Okay, So you see the output is a map of map. So map of string comma map of string comma long. Okay, that long is actually the count. Okay, so let's do it. Employees dot stream. Let me write it in new line. Dot stream. Okay, then you do dot collect immediately. Okay, and in the collector, what kind of collector do you want? You need a collectors dot grouping by. Okay, so when you group by, you will get, you will group it by employee colon department name. Okay, so till this everything is clear, right? You are just grouping all the items by department. Now this is the key side. Okay, now you need to also say the value side. What will I do for the value side? So for that we will say comma collectors dot collecting and then. Okay, so you will actually collect all the values that are coming for each department. What will you collect it to? You will collect it to a list. Okay, and on that list we are going to do some manipulation. Oh sorry, this is not be collectors dot list, this will be to map, right? Because we have to do to map. Okay, right. So on this, oh, we can do this whole thing in a single item. I don't need to do collecting and then I'll simply do collectors dot to map. Okay, so we got the key part. Yeah, this was simple. So we just do key part, and for the value part I'll say collectors dot to map. Now why is this showing an error? Yeah, we'll come to that. So to map I have to give a mapping function. So for every employee, okay, sorry, wrong button. Okay, if employee dot salary. Okay, there is this problem where what do you say, Eclipse won't autocomplete. So let me just make sure my syntax is fine first. Okay, so I'll just say return null for now. Okay, and what is this error? There is one more bracket needed. Okay, key is that, and this is the value part. Let me make this also neater. Okay, you got the key part, you got the value part, and inside the value part for every employee what you are going to do is you are going to say if employee dot salary is less than 70,000, then return this string, right? What is it? Less than 70,000. Okay, then else if and then this will be this one is greater than 70,000. Okay, and employee dot salary is less than 80,000. Okay, so it should be greater than here, greater than 70,000 and less than this value. You return the, where is that string? This string 70,000 to 80,000. Okay, fine. So with that is done. And in the last case, if none of that is true, you just return greater than 80, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 80,000. So you got the keys correctly. Okay, key of the second map. So if you see, it's a map of string comma string, right? So we just built this map of string part. Now what should be the long part? The long part should simply be the count. So collectors dot count. That's it. This should work. Let me see what's wrong. Cannot convert from collector of object to function of. Okay, how to fix that? Let me see what is there here. Okay, so null. Okay, let me see the signature to map. It needs two functions. Okay, not a big deal. So what this to map is expecting is two functions. Okay, so the first one is the key mapper and second one is the value mapper. Okay, What I was trying to do is give a function in the beginning and give a collector in the second. Okay, so what instead we should do is this second one also gets the same uh, stream. Okay, so what I'll do is emp dot oops, what I will do, I need to find the total, right? How do I do that? Let me think. So if I do to map, I should always give a function next. But if I do a grouping by, I can do a collector, right? So this is what I should look at, I guess. Yeah, because there is no other way I can, convert a function into do something kind of like counting, because a function will always have a single item. So I thought that I'll get the whole employee stream here, but I'm just getting one employee. So if you see here is just one employee. I can't do anything with this. So let me try doing grouping by again. Okay, so I'll do grouping by, and in here I'll do collectors dot counting. Yeah, okay, that worked. Okay, so in grouping by, I'm grouping by the same story again. If it is employee salary is less than 7,000, the same story, you can see that is the function that I'm giving, group by this function. And on the other side, the collector, you are grouping and collecting everything into a downstream, and that downstream will be the counting whatever is coming in the upstream. Okay, and I hope this works. Let me store this into a variable. Okay, I got the result. Let me return the result, and let me run the test case. This one, right? Open call hierarchy. Okay, there are two test cases. Let me run the first test case. Oops, it failed. Okay, let's see why it failed. Expected is finance 70,000 to 80,000, 1%. Okay, actually, this one function I wrote wrong. So it should be greater than equal to 70,000 or less than equal to 80,000, right? Otherwise, it won't be in this inclusive range. Correct? So I think that's what I made wrong. So let me run again. Okay, that also failed. Let me see how they wrote the test case. If they wrote they have written it pretty fine. So what is the mistake? Okay, they are expecting HR. Let me compare it with what I have written in my iPad. Okay, so expected is that. Okay, where is actual? Actual is, I don't understand it. Scroll past that. Actual is finance 70,000, 80,000. One guy is there. Okay, 70,000 to 80,000. One guy is there. Oh, they are not looking at the zero values. That's the problem. Okay, but I think here it expects the zero values, right? Yeah. So what the counting is doing is the counting is not counting if there is nothing inside. Okay, that how do I solve that now? That is little tough, I guess. Is there a different kind of counting? So I'll explain what the problem happening now is, if you guys didn't catch it yet. Let's say, where is this guy? So in HR, okay, there is no one who is having a salary greater than 80,000, right? So it wouldn't even come to this collectors.counting part. Only if there is an actual value, it will come to this collectors.counting, and if there's a positive value, it will say 1 or 2. If there is nothing, it wouldn't even come to this grouping by function, first of all, because it didn't pass any of this. Okay, and when it is trying to count, there will be 0, so it will simply not count anything. We can't simply say to it that if there is nothing, give it a value. I mean, I don't know if there is something like that, so that is what we have to figure out now. Okay, let's ask Perplexity, because these are all the APIs I know so far. If there is something outside that, then I have no idea. Let me check. Yeah. In here, if there are no employees satisfying any of the salary ranges, then that range should show 0 in the final sub, or I can say nested map. How? You need to seed the inner map with all ranges. Okay, where is the salary? Oh, bro, what is this? Now every inner map contains all salary. So what they're saying is, you have the predefined values, whatever you want, and then fill the empty values with 0 if they are not there. Why would I want to do that? Okay, so let me see how else we. Okay, so fine, this is one solution that they have given. Let me see how we can do it in the single stream itself. Okay, so what they're doing is they're doing another result.values. So on the result, they are trying to iterate again and do this. I'm just checking if we can initialize it by that and then do it. I don't think so. Let me see. We can do then, right? Right, we can do collectors or collecting and then, right? Yeah, let's try that. Okay, although it's kind of it'll look ugly here. Let's try that. What is the worst that can happen? Okay, so where does this end? This collect ends here. Oh, that's a huge collect. I want to look into this one. Grouping by ends here. Okay, so if I cut this whole thing, there shouldn't be an error. There is error, so that is wrong. Okay, so if I cut this whole thing, employee department, okay, this one, right? So if I cut this whole thing, this is the problem with these functions. It's very complicated to see where the function is starting and ending. Grouping by, okay, this one, where is this bracket ending? This one, is it this one? Let me cut this and see. Still here. Oh, there's an extra bracket, so I should cut with this. No, even now there's an extra bracket. Oh, now the problem is this will be not correct. Okay, fine. So this whole thing I'll do. I'm going to sneeze. Okay, the sneeze went. Sorry, excuse me. I'm having a bit of cold. So collectors dot collecting, and then right, I'll do the whole thing here. Okay, no bracket here. Okay, so what I did is I did the whole map stuff here, and then this will do collectors dot to map. Is that there? No, right? You can't do this. You get the map and then let's try like this. Map, you get the map, and then let's see, you just return the map. Oh, this works, right? Okay, now in this map, I'll do this extra thing. Okay, so I'll call this result itself. Okay, result, no semicolon. On result, what I'll do, result dot values dot for each. This should be inside this. So result dot values dot for each. You got the map, and then inside this there is salary bins. Put if absent. What is saying here? Semicolon. Okay. Why is this showing error? Oh, because this is there is a collecting, and then it's not applicable for arguments, collector, and then map of object long. If I return this, what happens? Nope. No, that thing, I mean, I was just trying something adventurous which didn't work, so I'll just undo all of that and simply do whatever Perplexity said. Okay, so undo. Yeah, there is no harm in trying something adventurous, right? Okay, this is correct. Yeah, fine. So this till this it's fine. Then I'll just take whatever Perplexity gave, right? And we need salary bins, which is actually having the items that we have to fill. Okay, import that. Why is this showing error? Legal modifier only finalist, no static, final. Okay, so this should now pass the test case, right? That passed. And let me try the next test case. Run as JUnit test. That passed as well. Okay, so with that is done. So if you see what we did here, after getting the final result, so this result according to streams will always return nothing for if so if you see there is nothing for anything greater than 80,000, right? There were no entities like that. Then it will simply not fill that, not create an entry for that itself, because it wouldn't first of all go into this grouping by function. Then it wouldn't, go into the counting function. So what we have to do is we have to explicitly fill the empty items. The Perplexity is what suggested this. You create a salary bins, bins saying these are the items. And for each bin, if it is not there in the map, you're simply saying that put it as 0. Okay, that nothing was there. Okay, so that was, which question is this? Fourth question. Okay, if you guys have any doubts, fourth question. Yeah, fourth question. If you guys have any doubts, let me know in the comments. Okay, so I will come back in 5 minutes. I have a call to attend. You guys just do reverse, skip backward and check the answer or solution or something. Okay, I'll be back in 10 minutes. Fine, see you guys. Hello. Right. So welcome back. And where do we go? Okay. So I hope there is no questions on the, what question was that? What was the last thing we did? On the fourth question, right? So let's move to the fifth question. So fifth question, I just read it. And what I understand from it is that they are trying to identify subsets. Okay, so I'm not going to explain the question very deeply. They are trying to doing something that is not supposed to be done with streams. They in competitive questions like programming and all, they try to, they ask this question like find the combination of all the items possible. For example, they have IT, HR, finance, right? This is the list of departments. So they want all combination like nothing, and then just IT, just HR, and then just finance, and then you have your, yeah, here is just finance, then there is IT and HR, then IT and finance, then you have HR and finance, then you have IT, HR and finance. So all the different combination. The problem is streams are not built to do these kind of things, right? It's not built to go back, right? So if you see, if I have to do this kind of cross combination kind of thing, I can't do it in streams out of the box. I have to do a lot of things that I shouldn't be doing with streams. Okay, you might as well just iterate or do recursion and things like that. So that totally goes into a different department. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll skip fifth question. Okay, and I'll remove the test case also for that. Okay, so whenever I make a change here in the test cases or the questions, I'm actually committing it to Git as well. So you guys can get the updated code in the Git. I have put the GitHub link in the pinned comment. Okay, fine. So now that fifth question is skipped, sixth question is kind of easy. Okay, so this is almost similar to what we did in fourth question. Okay, so if you see the question, they want to partition the employees by high earners, mid earners, and low earners. Okay, earning, like how much our income they make. Okay, so if you see here, till now we were partitioning by department, right? Grouping by department, right? But now they want us to group by the salary range, right? So what are they saying? Let me just note it down here. Greater than 80k becomes high. Okay, 60k to 80k becomes mid, and greater than, less than 60k becomes low. Okay, correct, fine. Okay, so this is the category. So I just wrote it down here in blue, you can see. So they just want to segregate the employees accordingly. Fine. So simple thing, we'll just do a partition by, and what we'll do is we'll write the same condition we wrote initially. So greater than 80k, how many people are there? So this is not greater than 80k, right? So yeah, this guy is there, greater than 80k. So only one guy is high earning. Okay, then we'll see mid salary, which is 60 to 80. That is this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. Okay, and less than 60 is low, but there is nobody in this list that is lower than. So I just took this as example. I don't know if this is exactly what is asked in the question. So let's say there is someone earning 50,000, then he goes into this less than 60k category. Okay, so the key, so we have to build a map, right? As usual, we have to build a map. Okay, and in the map, the key will be the the what do you say, income level. Okay, which is like high, mid, or low. Okay, and the value part will be the list of employees who come in that bracket, right? The salary bracket. Okay, so that's all we have to do. Now how can we do this? We have the usual grouping by, right? So grouping by, and you group by. So the grouping by function that we have to write, we will write the if else condition. So if salary is greater than something something, so all that boilerplate code we'll write here for the grouping by, and that's it. There is nothing to do after that, because grouping by default takes the key value, and this will be the key, right? This will be the key, and for value it will automatically what do you say, collect or like accumulate all of the employees in a list automatically. You don't need to do anything extra. Okay, so all of that will become a list, right? Cool. Okay, so this is kind of a, what do you say, cold water in desert kind of question. It's like a they want us to chill for a second. Okay, fine. So employees, okay, dot stream, okay, and then what do you do on the stream? You do collect. So I didn't do dot collect, okay, and in the collect, what you do? You say collectors dot grouping by, and you have to give a function, right? So grouping by takes in a function. That function will be saying for each employee, next up coffee in desert. Yeah, next up will be coffee in desert. So you say for each employee, if employee, employee dot salary, yeah, of course this doesn't autofill, is, what do you say, what is the range they want? If it's less than 60,000, right? So if it is less than 60,000, then return, what should I return? Low. Is that the word? Okay, these are the words they are looking for. Okay, the capital letter high, okay, the capital letter mid, and the capital letter low. These are all they are expecting. Okay, so I should return low. So I'll close this bracket so that it doesn't show this error anymore. And what is this saying? This method must return a type of string. Yeah, that will do. So else, if employee dot salary is greater than equal to 60,000, right? Is it 60,000? Yeah, 60,000 to 80,000, right? 60,000 and employee dot salary is less than equal to 80,000, then return mid. Okay, and in if it doesn't take any of that, simply return high. Okay, because he'll be coming outside that bracket. Okay, that's it. It's a simple ternary operator. You can write ternary operator, but the thing is there are 3 items here, so it kind of looks complicated. I know you will understand ternary operator, but for the greater audience, I'm just writing it more neater. Okay. Fine. So list of map of string comma list of employee result equals this. Okay, so with that you should already be done. Let me open call hierarchy. 2 test cases are there. First test case, run as JUnit test, and that failed. So let's see what failed. So high, this is correct. This okay. So in low, something is wrong. Let me okay, let me see what is coming. Okay, so high there is David of salary 90,000. Okay, in low there is an employee called Eve who has salary of 50,000. Okay, and mid there is an employee called Alice 60,000. 2 employees 80,000. Third employee 70,000. Okay, so what is the expected? Expected high has 90,000. Oh, and there is a Bob in IT with 80,000. How did he come into high? So in the expected in high, there is David 90,000, and then there is Bob 80,000. So did I write something wrong? Did I write the range wrong? So 60,000 to 80,000 is mid, right? So that's what I wrote. 60,000 to 80,000 is mid, and anything greater than that will automatically go into high. But then they are saying Okay, I don't understand. Where is expected? It changed again. Mid is this, low is this. Okay, and where is high? High has David 90,000 and Bob 80,000. So they are considering 80,000 also as high. Okay, then I have to just change this. Okay, if I change this, will it help? No. What is it now? So for me now, high you have 80,000 and IT 90,000. Okay, low has Eve from finance 50,000. What is the expected here for low? Low has Alice 60,000. Oh, so the whole thing was not inclusive. This was inclusive. So here it should want x less than equal to, and here they didn't give the question very correctly. So they didn't say if it's less than equal to or less than. Okay, so this thing should work. No, so there is one more greater than equal to somewhere. So low they're expecting Alice 60,000. Okay, and finance 50,000. Okay, did I get employee Alice 60,000 and Eve? Oh yeah, and then finance 50,000. I got those both. Now the only thing left is mid, right? So mid should have, okay, what is it that they're expecting? How do I make word wrap here? It's looking very cumbersome. All right, there is mid. Mid, they're checking one guy with 70,000. Oh, only one guy with 70,000 is there here. Okay. But what am I getting in mid? Let me see. High, low, mid. Mid, I have one guy with 70,000. That's correct, right? Day for asking you to ditch Eclipse. No. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll write it easier to, read. Okay, I'll create a new file. Yeah, it of course asks all that. I'll write it towards the end of this. Okay. And what is expected? This side, right? Okay, so left, this is expected. So they want Alice. Okay, where is low, mid? Okay, mid, high. Okay. Then you have okay, so in high they are saying, where did I copy what from? I forgot. Anyway, so we have David. Yes, we have David. We have Bob. Yes, we have Bob, but the order is changed. That is one thing to notice. Then in low we have Alice. Yes, we have Alice. And we have Eve. Yes, we have Eve. And in mid we have Charlie. Okay, so only thing missing here is everything is sorted in. Let me just see the result, okay, to make sure expected is sorted or something. Okay, so 60, 50, right? Right. So it is sorted in descending order of salary. So that is what is missing here. They didn't ask that in the question anyway, but that is what they're expecting. So where is high? High. Yeah. So high expected is 90,000 first and then 80,000. But for us, it's coming 80,000 first and then 90,000 because apparently that is what the input order is. So it simply comes in input order. Okay. Okay. So let's do the sort. It's just a simple sort. So what I'll do is dot sorted, and then I'll say employee. Oops. employee salary. Okay, why is this not working? The type employee does not define salary of employee. What? Oh, I should say comparing, right? So comparator dot comparing employee salary. Okay. And then I should sort it in descending order. So I have to say reversed. Dot reversed. Okay. Fine, run the test again. It passed. Small break after this problem. Okay, we already had multiple breaks. So yeah, we'll have one more break after this problem. So if you guys understood what happened here, the question is like kind of not very great. So I'll fix the question here. So they want anything less than equal to 60,000 as low. So less than equal to 60,000 as low. And they want anyone greater than 60,000 and less than 60,000, 80,000, right? So I'll say 60,001 to 79,999. Okay, fine. So this range is mid, and anything else greater than or equal to 80,000 to be high. Okay, so this is the three categories they want. So I'll just make this. Okay, so this is what they want. And another thing they want is part in in simple terms, it sorts employees into high, mid, low earners, benefits, and also sort the output in descending order of salaries. Okay, they didn't mention all this. Based on the test cases, we identified that. Okay, so yeah, we'll take a break. This is question number 6, but we just did 3 problems because we skipped 2 problems. We skipped the first problem. I think we skipped the first problem. Yeah, we skipped the first problem and 5th problem. Right, 5th problem. Yeah, we skipped these 2. So we have done only 3 problems so far. We will do 2 more. Okay, because per stream we have to do 5 at least, and that stream is going too long because this is actually harder problem. So it's already 2 hours since the stream started. Okay, let's go. Yeah, so let's take a quick break, 5 minutes break. Okay, see you guys in some time. Okay, welcome back after the break. Let me just open chat here. Cool. Okay, so let's continue. Seventh question. Calculate salary standard deviation. Okay, again math. Don't get disheartened. I hope standard deviation calculation is easier than other items. So let's see how it goes. So they have given 3 employees and they are asking the standard deviation for each department. Okay, so if we know the math, it should be pretty easy to figure out the standard deviation. Let's see how to. Sounds complex already. Yeah, so let's just look into it. Okay, how to calculate standard deviation of a list of values, list of numbers. Okay, I hope it doesn't give the Java answer already. Yeah, of course it does. Okay, find the average for each number, compute the square difference on the mean, average the square difference. Oh my god, divide by n minus 1. Okay, at least it gave this. Oh, interesting. So they gave this formula, right? We can kind of use this in our do you think these are important for intermediate level interview, 6+ years of experience? I don't think in interview they'll directly ask compute standard deviation or something, because for example in a Java interview they wouldn't check if you know standard deviation, right? They will probably check if you know how to use streams. So the major question will be maybe they'll ask you to find square of given numbers or like sum of given numbers, because those are like you are doing some kind of operation, right, instead of doing some big mathematical stuff. So that is what it'll give, I guess, right? So they're saying if you want the sample standard deviation, change the last line to square root of sum by nums of length minus 1. I don't know what that is. The method is standard and works for any kind of numeric list. Okay. So if we could learn how to write math function and call it within streams, it would cover some math problems, I guess. Correct. Right. So if you know how to do it mathematically, so let's say they're asking sum of all the numbers in the stream, you have to just add all the numbers up. So if you know that, you are done. So the point here is they are not checking if you know how to add stuff. 1 plus 1 is 2, everybody knows. But how do you add stuff using stream will be the question, like use a reducer or some kind of logic, that is what they are asking, right? Okay, so let's see what we can do here. So I'm thinking what we can do. Okay, so how we can change this into a stream problem is what I'm thinking. We should be able to manipulate the stream, different type of streams like int, string, integer. Correct. Right. So working with stream of objects or a list of integers or strings. Correct. That is also what we have to understand, which we have been doing so far as well. So that is covered. Okay, so for this one we have to first find the sum of all the numbers and then you have to find the mean, but mean you can already find using average, right? So you got the average. Okay, so once you calculate the average, they are saying to do whatever this thing is, and then they are saying return math.square root. Okay, how I can think of is we'll do two, because they want us to do using streams, right? Okay, this is going to be an interesting problem. Okay, so let me write down the numbers here: 75,000, 85,000, and 95,000. Okay, I wrote it here in my notepad, in my notes. Okay, so first step is to find the average. Okay, so I'll do, the normal map to double and then average, right? Map to int. This is long, right? So what is this? I think these are long values, or double. It has dot, right? So it's double. So map to double and do average. Okay, you get the average. That will be a map of for each department. So let's say IT. The average will be, let's say, 85,000. Okay, I'll get a map like this. Okay, now what will I do with this? They are saying the next operation to do is, for each number you do math dot power of some formula. Okay, so num minus mean comma 2, right? So for each department I will filter through that department, find the values in that. Okay, and then perform this as a reducer operation, and then do collecting, and then do square root on it. How confusing is that? Okay, back to notes. Okay, so second operation, what I'll do is, I got this map, right? The first map. I got this map. 93% confusing. Yeah. So what I'll do is, for each item of that map, okay, so I'll take this map and stream it. Okay, and for each of that, actually I have to map it, right? I have to map it. For each of that I have to do some operation. So I'll map it, and then I'll take the department name. So I have to write a mapping function here, and I'll say department name is something IT, and then I'll say mean is 85. Okay, then I'll do the original list they gave, right? So I'll do a stream on that list for each item in each department. I'll do a stream, and on that I'll run a filter. Okay, I'll run a filter to select that department only. Okay, you got the department also. Then I'll do a reducer. Okay, reduce, and in the reduce I'll write this function that they gave. What is the function? Math.power of num minus me plus 2, right? So I'll keep adding it with the previous number. So that is the reducing function that I'll do. Okay, makes sense? So with that reducing function, which is the function that we just got, I will map this original stream into, for each IT I will have up till this value, the square diff sum, but then I will also have to do math dot square root in the end, right? So that I have to do in the end, not in the beginning. Yeah, then I'll have to run one more map. There is no other way to do it. Okay, so then once I collect this, right, with the interim result, okay, I have to do another third operation. The third operation will be, you run a stream on this interim map that you got. Okay, and you do a mapping function on that stream, and you say that math dot square root of square diff. So you got the sum for each item, right? Right. So that map will have an entry set, and you iterate over that entry set, and on that entry set, whatever value you got will be the square diff sum. Okay, so you will have the square diff sum as the, let me erase this value. Okay, so it will be the value of this original map. But then I wouldn't know the length of the people. Then I'll have to construct 2.2. I'll have to construct a map which says for each department, in IT there are 2 people, in HR there are 4 people, something like that I have to do, so that I can get the length, because that is what they're asking here, right? So if you see, nums.length is what they're asking, so I need to know in that department how many people are there. So to know that, I need to construct like another interim map. So after doing all this, I think we will get it. So let's start by doing separate maps, then we'll see if we can do like a collecting and then or something, so that in a single stream we can do this. Okay, I know it's very confusing. Let's write it in code and see if it makes sense. Okay, so I forgot what all I said. Let me do it. Okay, employees dot stream. Okay, and in the stream, what is the first thing I said? I'll do map, right? Dot map to double. Okay, and what is the map to double function? The map to double function will be sorry, actually it will be map they want it by department, right? Yeah, and first it should be department name, so it should be group by collect. Okay, collectors dot grouping by, and here you say employee department. Okay, you have group by department name, and then you say this is left side, right? What should be on the right side? What should be on the right side? The collector. The collector should be a function. Which should give us the this thing, right? Whatever this is, the sum or the okay. There is this, right? I just realized you have to just find the average. So grouping by, and then I'll say collectors dot averaging double. Averaging double, and I'll say employee salary. Okay, so this stream itself, what it will return us is each department, what is the average salary. Okay, that's it. So IT's average salary, HR's average salary, and things like that. Finance average salary. Okay, so let's store this into a list map first. Okay, map of string comma double and like average salary map. Okay, we just got the average salary, but they're asking standard deviation. So next we have to do standard deviation, but for standard deviation we need the length of each people in the department. Okay, so for that what we'll do is we'll build one more map. Okay, employees dot stream dot collect, and then you say collectors dot grouping by, same story, employee department. Okay, and then the collector will be, on the downstream will be collectors dot counting. Okay, so how many people are there in each department? That is the next thing. So I'll store this also. I'll store this also. Okay, this will be employee department count. Okay, what is not written double? What is it? It is long. Okay, fine. There is hope. Yes, there is hope. Okay, now we got these two things. So if you see, what I just built is, you need a mean, right? Or the average. Mean is simply average, if you know math. Okay, so you got the mean value of each department, and you got the nums dot length of each department. Okay, so we have these two values. Now what we have to do, finally find is this thing. Okay, so this thing is the standard deviation, right? So if you find this thing and divide that by nums dot length, you get the standard deviation, right? Okay, so let's do that now. what you'll do is employees dot stream dot map again. Okay, let me think what to do. So I have to do this. I have to not do employees. I have to take average salary map. Okay, average salary map dot dot entry set, right? Dot stream, right? And then for each item, what I'll do is entry. For each entry, I'll write a function, and in that function, string department name is entry dot department. Oh, sorry, entry dot get key. Right, key is the department name, and what is the other item? Double average or mean equals to entry dot get value. Okay, so you got the department name and value. Okay, now what you have to do is you have to do this thing first, right? The squared diff sum, whatever that is. So let's calculate that. Okay, so for that I need the employees list again. Employees dot let me write it neatly, dot stream, okay, dot filter. Okay, and I'll say for each employee, if employee dot department dot equals the department that we have here. Okay, fine. So we filtered by that, and then what we are doing is dot reduce. Okay, so for reduce, what we are going to say is reduce will give a comma b, right? A comma b. I will say this return a plus this function math dot power of num minus mean comma 2, whatever that is, just hard code it. This num will be employee dot, sorry, this num will be b in this case. What is this now? Employee. Okay, so b dot salary, so it will be a dot salary. Okay, now what is this? Cannot convert from double to employee. Yeah, we don't care. We'll just do dot map to double employee salary. Okay, so a plus. Okay, I know it's still confusing. Hold on. Okay, so we map that. Why is this failing? Stream is not fun. We still have to return, right? Okay, so once you do this, what will you get? You will get a final answer, which is this guy, square diff sum. Okay, so you'll get this double square diff sum. Oh my god, that will be here. No, that will be here. Okay, no, it's not returning that. Optional double, right? So I'll just do dot or else 0.0. Okay, fine. Now you got square diff sum. You have one more thing to do here. You have to do math dot square root of square diff sum by nums dot length, right? So math dot square root. Now what is this nums dot length? For that only we built this big thing. So department count. So you'll do department count dot get of department name. Okay, that's it. Now you return that. Return. Okay. We are done. Do not worry. So Now see the test case pass result. See the, okay. What is this returning? Oh, it's still in stream. So what? I'll do, instead of this whole thing, what I'll do is map actually cannot collect into a map, right? So I have to do collectors dot to map. Okay, dot collect collectors dot to map. Okay, and in this function, this whole thing, right, whatever I wrote here, this will become the value. Okay, I'll remove this map. Okay, and the key will be identity. No, the key will be the entry itself. So entry, so I mean the entries key, or I'll just say map dot entry get key. Okay, so the key will be the key itself, and the value will be whatever this whole function is. Okay, now it will give us a map of string comma long, or map of string comma double, is it? So result. Okay, I think it will give a map of string comma long from map of object comma object. So how do I so what does this give? Oh my god, please hold. I want to know the return type of this. So this collect, right, it gives a map of string comma double. So that was the problem, double, right? This worked, but we actually need a map of string comma. Oh, that is what we want also. Okay, so we got the result. Okay, time to know whether all we did now is going to work. So open call hierarchy, go here, right click, run as generic test, and it failed. So IT 8164, what am I getting? 5775, HR 355. So never seen anybody use Java docs that to this. Thank you. Okay, so let's see what went wrong. Okay, so first I constructed an average salary map where you got the average of each department. Okay, let me print that here. Sys out. Okay, and then we checked employee department count. Okay, let's print that here. Sys out. Okay, and then our result is there. I want to just make sure. Yeah. No, never mind. Okay, I thought I figured out the issue, but I didn't. Let me run this again. Okay, so our average salary map was HR has 65,000, IT has 85,000, and HR has 2 employees, IT has 3 employees. Okay, let's make sure that is correct. IT has 3 employees, HR has 2 employees. This average must be correct, I'm assuming. Let's see. 6 plus 7 is 13. 13 divided by 2 is 6.5. So we got 65,000, right? Where is the, yeah, 65,000. So the other average should also be correct. Okay, I don't think. Thanks for teaching us good engineering practice along with coding. Thank you. I don't know what engineering practice. So you mean about the Java docs? Yeah, cool. Okay, so we figured that out. So the average salary map has no issues. Next, what is the thing? Employee department count. That also has no issues. We saw that was working. So something is wrong in the final result calculation. Okay, so let's see what is wrong. One more thing is, it said if you want sample standard deviation, change the last line to nums.length minus 1, right? Let me just check if that is a problem. So where is that? This is nums dot length minus 1. So just say, I'll just use a int employee count equals to this, okay? And I'll say employee count minus 1. Is this not int? Okay, long. Okay, let's see if this passes. No, that didn't pass either, right? It failed. Okay, so yeah, let's see what's going on. We got, they're asking this one, right? Square diff sum. So it starts with 0.0, and for each thing it is adding it with math.power of num minus mean comma 2. I think it is the square of that, right? So for each number in nums, it is adding it with the previous number, right? So it is kind of like adding all the numbers. So for, I'm filtering out all the employees matching the expected department. So I'll get all the employees in, let's say, IT department, and I'll get 2 employees, right? And then I'm taking their salary and adding the salary. This might be the problem. So I think I should say 0.0, and then, so how do I give the initial number and reduce? This one, double identity and then binary operator, right? So why did this not work? What is the problem here? Cannot invoke or else on double on the primitive type. Okay, so primitive type, this is not needed. Okay, so since they are starting with 0 here, I'll also start with 0 here. Okay, let's see what happens now. That failed. That failed too. Okay, I'll just turn this off so that this doesn't keep coming. So if you see, that failed. But was HR 5816. Hey, this one came correctly. The IT department value came correctly, 8164.96 blah blah blah. But the HR value is not coming correctly. HR has how many people? 2 people. So the reducer function is not working for 2 people, is it? It should go through everything, right? So it starts with 0 and then 0 plus math.power of, right, b minus mean comma 2, and then we have 1 plus 1. Okay, let's see what happens here. I'll just log A and B. Okay, A is A and B is B. Okay, and let's see what happens. Run it. Console. So A was 0, B was 60,000. A was, what is this 2.5? Okay, because it was square root something. Okay, so A was this and B was, wait a minute. Okay, let me also do a sys out after that so that I know that it's doing again. So I'm doing another sys out so that there will be a new line after the first operation. Okay, yeah. Okay, so first operation had only 2 items. So A was 0 and B was 60,000. Then A was some square root value and B was 70,000. Okay, and the final thing will be whatever the square diff sum was, and then you divide it by employee count, right? So HR is what is failing, right? Let's try debugging and seeing what's happening. Let's come here. Debug. Right. Okay, so where is this? Where is this? Squared if sum became 5E7, 5,000 something, I guess. And then employee count will be, where is step over? Yeah, employee count is 2. So when I do math dot square root of square root of sum by employee count, right? That's what they want. Math dot square root of square root of sum by nums dot length. And that should work. Okay, let's do one thing. This is getting too much complicated. Does this? Oh, I should have put a bracket. Very good. Okay, let's see if this works. It didn't work anyway. So let's see what is the 70718164. 7071. We got 10,000. Hey, now HR worked, but IT failed. What? Let me try again. Now HR failed, but IT worked. Okay. So this is again a math problem. I don't know how to fix this. So if I do -1, then HR is passing. If I do without -1, then HR is failing. Okay, so let me see if the test case has something. Okay, they just expected standard deviation value for each department. Okay, let's ask Google to do standard deviation and see what it gives. Okay, that is the final answer. We don't care what anything else. So what is the standard deviation of HR? 75,000 and 60,000. What is the SD of 75,000? 70,000? Okay, 70,000 and what is the other HR? 60,000. It's going to run Python, is it? No, I didn't. Calculate the. Okay, it said 7071, right? What is this thing saying? 7071. Okay, now let's see the other one. What is the SD of 75,000? 75,000, 85,000 and 95,000. No, I'll copy it. What if I type wrong? And that becomes a problem. Hey, why is it saying population standard? What is this? See, this is why we should have studied math properly. See now, oh, this is also population standard deviation. Okay. It says 8164.97. No. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I didn't copy a bracket. Okay. And I'll say fails. Why? Because the calculated standard deviation method uses the population formula when your expected values in the test correspond to the sample standard deviation n by 1. Your code is blah blah blah, but your test values are for blah 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 by n minus 1, which gives a slightly larger term blah blah blah. Change this line in your method to employee count -1. Yeah. Oh, ensure employee count is greater than 1 before dividing by employee count. Yeah, okay, that is okay. So what they said is Can I come? After the change, shows that the dependence time matches the expected value, but the identity is not expected. The reason the distress is annotation, your calculation must manage the entire reply, but the difference which requires recomputing with corresponding degrees. However, the problem blah so many stuff. Retry the salaries by department and calculate use the utility method to compute something. Okay, you know what? I give up. I'll just no, I shouldn't give up. What are they saying? Okay, you group by that and you got salaries by department. Then they're saying salaries by department and they're doing, or they're simply doing standard deviation. For standard deviation, what they're doing, values dot size and less than equal to 1, 0. Mean is that, and then variance is okay, they're doing sum of all of that and then doing by n minus 1. Okay, so the only change here is they are map to double, right? In this reduce, instead they are doing dot sum, okay, and then in the end they are doing by n minus 1. Okay, what is this n minus 1? This employee count is n. And then what are they doing in the end? Math dot square root of variance. So it's called variance here. Variance. So math dot square root of variance. That's what they're passing. Yeah. Let's try now. Wow, that's totally out. No, whoa, no, for what? Okay. Map to double. Oh, this is wrong, right? So map to doubling. Here itself they are doing this. So in the map to double, I just took employee salary. Instead, it should be mean. Where is this mean? Oh, where is this pass? Okay. Okay, let's try now. See, this is what I got. See, if I remove minus 1 here now, it will just show that IT passed but HR failed. But if I remove, if you add minus 1 here, it just says HR passed but IT removed. Okay, so I'll do one thing. If employee count is greater than 2, okay? If employee count is greater than 2, I'll just do employee, okay, employee, wait. Okay. What is wrong here? Oh, sorry, greater than 2. I think I'm starting to hallucinate. Okay. Else employee count. Okay. It should be the ulta is what I'm thinking. Okay. So if employee count is less than equal to 2. Happy? Okay. Don't laugh. This is proper solution. I know. Okay. This is how math works. Hence proved. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we came for something. We came for streams, and we ended up doing math. But okay, whatever. Okay, So I hope you guys understood. Okay, thank you, bye. What is this thing? Okay, let me neat it first, write it neatly. Okay, I hope I put slashes everywhere. Okay. Okay, formatting made it worse, sir. So I'll format in the end. On a scale of 1 to 5, please rate your experience with streams today. 5 out of 5 on miserability. Okay. Okay, so okay, let's see what we did so far for this question. Okay, the problem that we mainly faced was with the formula for standard deviation. Okay, that is none of our concern. Standard deviation is a math people problem. Okay, ask them to figure it out. What we are worried about is we are doing multiple stream of streams. Okay, so what we did here is we need to do multiple calculations. So I'll just show how calculations are there and then see what we do. Okay, first we need mean or like average. Okay, we need average of each department salary. Okay, for that what we did grouping by and we did department. Okay, and for each department we did average in double and took their salary and averaged it. Okay, that was the first thing we did. Next thing what we have to do is we need to do this whole thing, but to do this whole thing we need one more item called nums.length, which means we need to know how many people are there in each department. Okay, so that's why we are pre-computing it, how many people are there in each department. For that what we did employee department count, and we're simply doing grouping by and then by grouping by employee department, and we are counting it. So the value, key value, in the key value the value will be the count of people in that department. Okay, that is done. So we pre-computed two items, the salary and the department. Now what we have to do is we have to do this big formula. Okay, this big formula, what it says is you are supposed to reduce the things according to the sum of this math.power of blah blah blah. So what it is essentially doing is it's called variance apparent. I did that format again. Okay, so it's called variance apparently, whatever that thing is called, we are computing. So for that variance we have to first of all get the mean of each department. Okay, and also we have first we have to filter it by, so always we have to work in the context of department by department only. Okay, so when we filter it by a department, in that department we are performing this operation, some calculation, to get the value for each item, and then what we have to do is we have to sum it. So that is what they are doing here. For each number they are adding the itself with mean of whatever it is. Okay, that formula. So that is what we did here. Okay, we actually used the reduce, but the reducer is actually summing. So what they instead did is mapped the the other part of the sum into this formula and did a sum in the end. Okay, after the sum what we have to do is we have to do this by nums.length. Okay, that sum divided by nums.length, and that nums.length is what we stored in here, employee count, which we got already pre-computed, right? So once we do that, so here was the main issue for us, because if employee count is less than equal to 2, it's using a different formula. If employee count is more than 2, it is using this minus this employee count formula. Okay, so this is kind of a hack we did, because we are not very interested in standard deviation. Okay, so whoever is mathematical genius or something who is watching this stream, please help us, comment and say what is wrong with this formula. Okay, and then in the end what we should do, we have to do math dot square root of whatever we found so far, right? So this thing is called variance apparently. we do it math.square root and we return it. So for each department, we are doing this whole calculation and then returning this math.square root of variance, which is apparently the standard deviation. Okay. And when we run the test, it worked. Okay. I hope there was only one test case. Let me run the other test case also. Open call hierarchy. Yeah, there is another test case and that is going to fail, isn't it? Oh, it passed. I think it's just an empty. Oh, it was just an empty. Yeah, if you give an empty list, it should return an empty list was the question and it worked. Okay. Okay, that was question number 7. Okay, so I think this is enough Java streams for today's stream. So we'll see 8, 9, 10 tomorrow. Okay, just 3 questions. So I'll update this. We went from 1 to 7, is it? And 8, 9, 10 will be, sorry, 8, 9, 10 will be tomorrow. Font strike through. Okay, so part 8 is done. We'll do part 9 tomorrow. Always copy paste the math formula from ChatGPT. I'm imagining. Yeah, that's what I mean, someone already did all the heavy work and did the formula for us. Why should we calculate the formula again? Okay, so in the next streams, can we make maybe summarize all math problem concept into one exercise? I didn't get you. Instead of multiple problems. You mean to say we'll just have one math problem? Is that what you're asking? Just one covering all the ways to use streams with math formula. So one problem. Okay, so these questions are auto-generated, right? Using Perplexity itself. So I don't know if there are any more math problems. See, there is create all possible pair, create, what is this? Average and highest salary. This is fine. What is this? Longest consecutive salary. This is fine. So these questions are fine. So I'll just go through L5 assignment, right? And I'll see if there are like crazy math problems like this again, because we don't want to spend our time learning math now. Our main goal is to find, what do you say? To understand streams, right? Java streams API. So if I see 5th, I'll just go through 5th one. What is happening? They want the sum of squares. This is easy. Find first even number or default. Okay, that is easy. Optional with or else throw. What? Given a list of integer, find maximum value or throw. Okay, that is also easy. In stream range, generate sum of numbers from 1 to n. That's easy. Generate infinite stream. First n numbers. Generate first n even number starting. Okay, that's easy. Why is 5th one so easy? Sum of string length. Given a list of strings, calculate total sum of all string length. Okay, that's easy. Convert in stream into list. Given a range from 1 to 5, convert in stream into list of. Okay, that's easy. Peek for debugging. Print and transform. Given a list of numbers, print each number and then square them. Okay, easy. Check if no negative numbers. Okay, easy. Find any with parallel stream. Okay, parallel stream for the first time. Okay, easy. To array, convert stream to array. Okay, that's easy. Reducing collector, concatenate strings with reduce. Okay, that's also easy. Teeing collector, calculate both sum and count. Oh, how do I do that? Okay, this must be a little complex, I guess. That is something we have to figure out. Next, filtering downstream collector, group and filter. Example. Yeah. The collecting and then. Okay, that one. Mapping downstream collector. What? How many questions are there? 15 group strings and get lengths. Must be easy, I guess. Summarizing int. This was a summary thing. And then collecting and then again. Okay, flat map to int. Multi-level group with counting. Okay, custom collector. Okay, the L5 actually sounds very interesting because we are kind of refreshing. I'll not miss. Yeah, Just I'll not miss the next stream. Yeah, the L5 sounds very interesting. I want to just get rid of this L4 and go to L5 because all everything that we studied so far, it's like a recap in L5. So I think we should have started with L5. That sounds easy also. So yeah, let's get back for L5. Just a minute. Yeah, let's get back for L5. When is L5? L5 will be the day after tomorrow, right? It will be, yeah, tomorrow will be part 9 and day after tomorrow it's Thursday. Thursday will be L5. Okay, so I'm also interested in looking into L5. So hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I very much enjoyed the stream with multiple characters. Okay, so see you guys in the next one. If there is anything, just drop in the chat. I'll be there for like 2-3 more minutes. I'll respond to you and end the stream. Okay, thank you. Thank you for looking forward to the next stream. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Looking forward to the next stream. Thank you. Me too. Okay, I was just reading this L4 assignment remaining questions. Okay. Okay then. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining. See you guys in the next stream. It must be around 7:30 p.m. tomorrow in Indian time. It's 10:30 here. So we had like around 3 hours of stream now, right? What is the stream time? Oh, we are exactly 3 hours and 1 minute. So yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Subscribe and hit the bell so that you will get notification when the stream starts. Okay, or if you don't want to hit the bell, it's fine. Whenever you remember tomorrow, just click on notify me for the stream. Okay, you will get the stream notification. Okay guys, thank you. Have a nice night. Good night. Bye.